Welcome to Last Week in Warframe, a series where I keep you updated on the past week of Warframe by compiling all DE announcements and news posts from the Warframe forums, developer Twitter posts and Reddit accounts, and even the Warframe live streams. So without further ado, let's go over these announcements and news from the 15th to the 21st of September. Starting this week's episode off, we did have Hotfix 25.7.6 on PC that launched the Arbitration changes. Since I have covered them twice on the channel already, I will link to the patch notes video in the description like always. So if you want to watch that and get all the information, it is available to you. But to do a brief overview, all Arbitration mission variants, with the exception of Excavation, have been reverted back to their original reward rotations, which means Survival goes back to rewarding players every 5 minutes, Defense back to every 5 waves, and so on. They've also changed the rotation, so it's now AA, BB, CC, and C onwards until Extraction. They've also added new aura mods and arcanes to the rotation rewards. There were various other changes that were made and once again can be given to you in that patch note video or by reading the patch notes yourself. But Digital Extremes also noted that, quote, "We are keeping an eye on first impressions but do not want to rush into changes before players have gotten to actually try the mode themselves. Once we have a solid body of statistics to examine, we will perform an audit to see if further tweaks are required." End quote. Now, a few other notable changes came to the Ghoul Purge event notification, so if players have collected all the encrypted journal fragments, the Lotus inbox notification will no longer be sent to your inbox and won't play upon login. All NPCs no longer attack Garuda's Blood Altar victims, and enemies now react to you when you shoot a silenced weapon 2 to 3 meters near them multiple times, but they won't change their alert status. As for the fixes in this hotfix, they are up on your screen. For Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch users, Update 25.7.4 has gone live on your platforms. Due to the size of the update, I once again will have to link to my patch note video, where it covers all the additions, changes, and fixes if you want to stay updated. But for a brief overview of this update, the Altra, Gauss, Icarius, the Disruption Mode expansion, Harrow Deluxe, Shawzin, bow stat and effect changes, and lighting improvements are all live on consoles. Wukong Prime access will be ending on the 1st of October. This means players won't be able to buy his Prime accessories or packs outright with cash after that date, and will have to resort to farming his relics or trading for his parts and relics in-game with other players. Now, Mirage, Kogaki, and Akbolto Primes will be entering the Prime Vault on the 1st of October as well, and the next Prime access will be Atlas Prime access. The stats for Atlas Prime and Deathcube Prime were shared on the Warframe subreddit, and they are displayed on screen if you want to know those, but keep in mind they may change prior to the launch on the 1st of October. A new contest is also live, and that's the Sounds of Shawzin. If you wish to partake in this contest, a link to it will be in the description so you don't miss out on any necessary information or rules. One thing to add though, DE Helen said the following in regards to macros for the Shawzin, quote, "We would prefer if submissions didn't use macros, but it would be very difficult for us to track in video and audio submissions. We will be focusing on the overall compositions themselves when we choose winners. You can read more about our official stance on macros here," where she then links to an old post from June where DE Bear outlined the use of macros for Warframe. Now, this contest will end on the 3rd of October at 1 PM Eastern Time. For developer Twitter post, DE Steve replied to a player asking if there was any chance DE would reverse the decision to disable the use of Universal Medallions in the Conclave Syndicate, where Steve replied, "Maybe. Just returned from holiday and now can discuss with team." Now we get to what most of you clicked on the video for, and that's status updates on Vauban's rework via Scott's Twitter. The first video, as shown, uses the first ability where Vauban juggles the Tesla balls and throws them, and they might possibly seek out enemies or follow Vauban based on a previous tweet video from Scott. The second and later third video showed off Bastille, that is now the 4th ability, and upon holding down the button, Bastille will turn into a vortex. If you have multiple Bastilles near each other and then activate the vortex version, those Bastilles and the vortex would be pulled into each other. Third video also showed off a new third ability with a placeholder name of Orbital Strike that sends down, well, an orbital strike. Now, Scott had also replied to a fellow Warframe partner, "Heard you had some Ember ideas. I have a few of my own." So Ember is probably next in line for a rework. Sound improvements will also be coming soon thanks to a video shown by DE George. And lastly, to end this episode of Last Week in Warframe, we had a DE response to the translator issues and Chinese translators removal last week and all the controversy around that, with DE's response following. As some of you are aware, a change was made to our volunteer translation team last week, and we wanted to shed some light on this situation for those in our community who have been following it closely. We sincerely apologize for the delay in commenting publicly about this matter, and we understand that our Chinese tenno would appreciate clarifications on what led us to this situation. We do not remove people from our volunteer programs lightly, and such removals are made after great consideration. Our volunteers are provided with a list of program guidelines and a recently added volunteer agreement that allow us to share unreleased information with them. Sometimes a violation of these guidelines occur, which prompts us to remind tenno of them. For example, this was posted in the private Discord we share with our translation team, showing an image. However, when multiple violations occur, removal from our volunteer programs is necessary. Out of respect for the tenno who have contributed their time and passion to Warframe in our volunteer programs, we do not disclose the exact reasons for their departure from these programs. But these decisions are made with great consideration and review. We want our Chinese tenno to be heard and supported. Our Chinese staff has doubled this year alone, and we are committed to being more sensitive to players' concerns, in addition to making improvements and adding polish to our localized content. Thank you, the Warframe Chinese community support. And that does conclude this episode of Last Week in Warframe. If you found the video informative, make sure to leave a like. If you think I can improve upon the series in any way, shape or form, outside of sharing my own opinion, make sure to leave it in a comment down below. And if you want the channel glyph, it is up on your screen. There are 15 codes per platform. If one has already been used, it won't be usable by you. If you missed out on last week's episode, make sure to click the annotation on the screen, it'll take you right to it and keep you updated from that week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.